Good evening. I have had this backfire on me. I have been a little bit skittish on world traffic. I still think it's a great program. It's just, it may be me. It could be me and some of my configuration. We are running a lossless um, with what we're doing tonight. We're going to see if we can set this up. And we're taking a flight from Atlanta to JFK. We're on a 767-300ER with Delta. We're flight Delta 9763. Should be a little over 2 hours in the air. And by the way, the livery looks good. Doesn't that look nice? So looks great. Looks great. Let's use this Nimbus screen. So we're going to tell it we're going to KJFK. And our goal is to leave by 0230. There we go. Look at us. And right now, is that 3013? It's altimeter. Okay. We'll get this going. So this beginning of our 767 time, I love bringing this up first. Let's go ahead, and that we're bringing up the pad, and let's get all the stuff that we'll need. GPU, fuel truck, ACU, and loader, and passenger bus. We're going to put passenger bus on here too. Sometimes I don't have the gate jetway. The jetway's not always working. Having some issues there, but I'm not really going to worry about it tonight. Let's just have a good flight. We have 208 passengers on this flight. Fuel, our block fuel is 34,922 pounds. And our cargo weight I go to my load sheet here. So our cargo is 14,540 pounds. 14,540. And we're going to optimize our load there, make everybody happy. And then we need to go to airplane, open all the doors before we go to load. Okay, so we're ready now. I'm going to hit load, and there. Remember, GPU's attached right now. We're still in the dark, so I'm going to need some light here. I am really trying to decide if I want external power or not, really.
Sir, it might be a tad too warm in the...
I'll talk to you later. Get your lights up there, and then turn off your aviation flashlight. Okay. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get our navs up. I'm sitting here pondering the way I want to do power, and I think I'm going to go ahead, let's go ahead and start the APU instead of going the way of, there we go, the way of the GPU. I'm going to go ahead and take the GPU off and not have it attached, and get the utility buses and the bus ties on, generators, and we'll go ahead and let the APU come up. Let's get the APU going here. Now while I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead and go line by line here. Okay, get these up. That's APU power. Okay. And let's go down row by row. Guard closed. Left pumps on and right pumps on. I'm not turning the center ones on. We have 34.9 thousand gallons of fuel. Yeah. Lights are up, like our collision and logo, everything. We want to look nice out there. Yeah, you may be wondering what I'm doing, but that's because our elevation where we're going is really low. Seatbelt signs are off. I always put this to auto 1. Hopefully that won't be a problem for our mode. And trim air, circulating fans, and we're setting this to, we're leaving those off for now. Forward cabin, mid cabin, all on auto. Go. Got some pressure there. We'll need that when it comes time to start. Right. Flight directors are up, and auto throttle is up, although that doesn't mean much right now. And it says there our QNH, or our altimeter's 3014. How convenient. So we're going to go ahead and set that. Okay. Time to go to the McDo where we're going to set our IRS position up. So we're going to hit init ref, our position here. So we're going to put KATL We'll start out our GPS position. And then KATL, for a reference to airport. And we are a KATL flight. I didn't have to do that twice. Okay, KATL flight going to KJFK. We are flight number DAL. Y'all follow me? 9763. There is a company route. I think I'd be willing to bet on this. And we're going to look at what it is. In fact, I know where it is without even looking for our flight dispatch. Let's pull up our info. Good to always read your flight plan, and what I'm looking for now is my company route on this. We may or may not find it, but I think I should. ACARS use. On the company route here, I'm going to try this ATL. JFK01. What happens if I put that in? Absolutely nothing. But that doesn't mean we can't save that name. And we will. So we're going out on runway 09 left. And I don't think there should be any problem with that. Let me see if they're going to try to change our runways. That's us.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Delta Sky Team and our global partners, welcome on board your Delta flight going to New York John F. Kennedy International Airport. As you're making your way to your seat, we kindly ask that you please step into your row and out of the aisle as quickly as possible. Allow those passengers behind you to make their way to their seat as well. If you're traveling with a larger rollerboard, please place it in the overhead bins, either wheels or
Brian,
handles first on the right side
can
of
you
the
get our
aircraft.
IFR clearance?
Keeping in mind that the overhead bin space is shared space, so if the bin directly above your seat is already full, please go ahead
I'll
and
get our
utilize
IFR
the next
clearance.
available space. If you brought in a second item with you, such as a briefcase, tote bag, laptop bag, backpack, you can go ahead and utilize that space under the seat in front of you, so that we can utilize that overhead bin space for your larger bags without having to check them plain sight to your final destination. Feel free to utilize your mobile phones, tablets, and e-readers while we're here at the gate. However, once we close our boarding door, you must please place these items into airplane mode or turn off your cellular service. We'd like to thank you all for choosing to fly Delta. Welcome on board.
My fault. Brian can't call right yet. Ron, trying to making that call again. I'm sorry, I had the radio off.
No problem, Steve. I'll make the call again.
Atlanta clearance, Delta 9763. Heavy, we'd like to request our IFR clearance, and we have Bravo.
Give me 1 second for that clearance. Delta 9763. Heavy, clear to Kennedy via the Phil 3 departure, then as filed. Climb and maintain 10,000. Expect flight level 37010 minutes after departure. Departure on 124.6 squawk 2123. And I know it's not what you filed, but you can expect runway 8 left.
Atlanta clearance, Delta 9763. Heavy, cleared to Kennedy via Phil 3 departure, then as filed. Climb and maintain 10,000. Expect flight level 370
I'm
10 minutes
okay
after
with that.
departure.
That's not a big change.
Squawk 2123. Anticipate runway 8 left.
Delta 9763, heavy readback, correct?
Yeah, that if it were like opposite way runway, I would be a little bit more alarmed. But I'm not really as concerned for a change like that. Oh, so we're supposed to be coming in on runway 13 left. The Cameron 5 arrival. I'm hoping that will be the case. So let's go ahead and we're gonna live on the edge. So ILS 13 left. Cameron 5. And a size of transition. It says side. Let me see if I can find that. No. It doesn't say that. So I don't have a transition. For whatever reason. I'm going to go with the none for now and leave it be. Okay. Let's take a look at our path to get there. Actually, this is it here. So Phil 3, Hartwell. Let's walk through this and see where it takes us. So leaving on the Phil 3 departure, Hartwell, and then after Hartwell, the next thing you know, you have some things along the way. What about this Q64? So Hartwell to Q64. Let me try that.
Atlanta clearance, Roger 104 heavy, at Stan Foxtrot 2, information Romeo, requesting IFR clearance to London Heathrow, please.
First of all, let's go ahead and activate that, and we can work on it while we have it activated. For saved, I'm going to say ATL. My fault. ATL JFK01. You see that there? I'm going to put that. I want to save that. I did. There we go. Okay. Alright. Route saved. Okay. So now it's in our company route there, ATL JFK01. So if we have this come up again, we can pull this up. We're going to add to it some more and then go back and save it again, but I've at least got it started. Back to this. So here we have the Field 3 to Hartwell and then Q64. So let me try that. Let's see if I can enter it here. This is back to where my still learning part of me, because it's got, it has a direct there, so after Hartwell. But you know what? Let's go ahead. Let's take after Hartwell. So if we can't just directly enter Q64 here, I want to see what we have that can guide us along. So how about we go DARRL. To ITA. DDAA. To DADS. DADDS. And next we have TYI. And we could either use Guild or go all the way up to SOID. So let's put Guild in here. GUILD. What is it? Huh? No, I'm not on video. Give me a minute. Hold on. Give me. Cargo's still loading right now. Okay, so Guild. What did I say? We'll put Guild there. And then we've got SOD. SAWED. You see here we've got SI. Now there's a lot of waypoints along the way. I'm not going to use every one of them. I'm gonna skip along the way here. Like for instance, I just did SOD. Let me go to Bysel, BYSEL. And we'll go to Act Up. Now we have psi right there, so we're right at psi. So we're gonna take away that. Now that leads us to psi, to Botan, to Hogs, and leads us to Cameron, to the Cameron. So there, on the Cameron arrival. Right there, I know because there's going to be a transition for telex. In fact, I can go ahead and enter that. I could, but I'm going to go ahead and take that out. If I'm directed, fine, but I went ahead and just took that out. That discontinuity. Okay. All right, you'll hang tight for a minute. All right. Let's just say I had to go help him load some cargo. Um, there. So, so far we've got our flight plan. We've got our route loaded. I think we're good for our route. And our next thing we need to do is go to our performance numbers, and this is where we want to put our ZFW in. We're going to put in 260.6. 260.6. Okay. Our reserves. Let's pull that up. Reserve fuel is 13,000. Our cruise altitude on this flight is 370. And our CI, our cost index, kind of threw me because I saw it and I went, is that right? And let me find it on our flight plan here. Sometimes it's not the same on every report to find it. So maybe y'all can help me find it. We're looking for our cost index. There it is. Okay. 162. That just threw me. 162 for cost index. Okay.
Atlanta clearance, Delta 3187, request IFR clearance to Charlotte with information Sierra on board.
Atlanta clearance, Delta 2112 with information Tango, IFR clearance to Cincinnati.
While I grab the paperwork.
Atlanta ground, this is Aeromexico 300 request. IFR clearance to New York, La Guardia.
Close that off for a minute. I'm sorry, every time I hear the wax zone is for unload, I think of Airplane, the movie. There is rhyme or reason on this flight plan. Sometimes I get turned around. You can wait. Missed it. Let's go back to top.
Atlanta clearance, JetBlue 201, looking for IFR to JFK.
Request standby.
JetBlue 201 is cleared to Kennedy via Phil 3 departure that is filed. Climb maintain 10,000. Expect flight level 370, 10 minutes after departure. Departure 124.6, squawk 5543, and the departure runway will be 8 left, JetBlue 201.
201, read back, correct?
I know, I'm queued reading. Sorry.
expect flight level 33010 minutes after departure. Departure on 121.225, clock in 3624 for GPS 9er uniform Papa.
It took forever just to find that. It was really toward the bottom. I did not like that at all. Okay, so we're actually going out on flaps 5. Our thrust is at 5.4. Our center of gravity is 19. That gives us a 3.7. And we will set that trim. I'm going to get these out of the way and we'll do that. So 3.7. And our OAT is 2.9. Then we're going to go back, and I'm going to select on, bring those numbers in, and 148. So we're set for 148, and all that's set now, so we're good there. That back. You wait over there. He stopped calling. He's not happy with me. So I said 3.7 on our trim. We are going to set that right here. Okay. We're also going to go ahead and get our pushback and start clearance. Brian, get the pushback and start clearance.
I'll request pushback and start clearance.
Delta 9er 763 Heavy requesting clearance for pushback and engine start.
Delta 9763 Heavy pushback and engine start approved. Tail south.
Alright, so we need to make sure our doors are closed, everything's shut, secured for the airplane. Close all.
Hey, Captain, let me know where you want this thing.
Right, we're leaving out on 08 left. That's what it changed us to. So we need to face to our left.
Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming. All right. Looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
Window heat up. Packs are off for start when time comes. Yeah, we're ready. And we're going out on, so it looks like Ronnie. 083, Ronnie.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Toes connected, bypass pins inserted. Go and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go. Here comes the pushback. Light 'em up.
Flight attendants, prepare your doors for departure, please. Cross-check on all call. Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome on board your Delta flight. So in just a moment, we'll be showing you a brief presentation on the safety features of this aircraft. We kindly ask that you please direct your attention to the video monitors and flight attendants in the aisle, even if you are a frequent flyer. Thank you so much.
Welcome aboard, and thank you for choosing Delta for 100 years and counting.
Delta.
Delta. Delta.
Delta Airlines.
The health and safety of our customers and crew is our #1 priority and the shared responsibility of everyone on board. So, before we depart, please pay attention to this important message. Stow all carry-on items in an overhead bin and place smaller items completely under the seat in front of you.
Larger electronic devices must be placed in a bag. Handheld portable electronic devices, including mobile phones, should also be secured.
Keep the aisles, exits, and bulkhead areas clear. If you lose an electronic device in your seat, please do not adjust your seat and ask a crew member for help.
As we leave the gate, fasten your
Just about
seatbelt
done
by
here. Go ahead and
inserting the
set your
metal
parking
tip
brake.
into the buckle and adjusting the strap so it's low and tight across
And
your
we're
neck.
disconnecting
To
the toes.
release,
Give me just a
lift the
moment.
top of the buckle. If your seat has a shoulder harness, attach the metal tip to the fitting on the belt. To release, push the metal tip down. Stay seated with your
Our
seatbelt fastened when the seatbelt sign
pressure
is
looks
on,
good.
and keep it
We're
fastened
gonna try
whenever
again.
you're seated in case of sudden rough air. In the event of rough air, the crew might also need to buckle up for safety. We appreciate your understanding if our service is interrupted.
Federal regulations require all passengers to comply with all crew members' instructions, along with the posted placards and lighted information signs throughout the cabin. Smoking, vaping, the use of e-cigarettes or any smokeless product, including chewing tobacco, is not allowed on any Delta flight. Federal law prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying restroom smoke detectors.
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the right. Take it easy and have a safe
There are
flight.
8 exits on this plane. 8 doors, 4 on each side. Each door has a detachable slide that can be used as a raft.
In the event of an evacuation, leave all bags behind. Carry-in baggage will slow the evacuation. All exits are clearly marked with the green exit symbol. Locate the nearest exit and remember, they might be behind you. If we lose power, lights will illuminate the aisles to guide you to an exit.
It's unlikely, but if cabin pressure changes, oxygen masks will drop from the panels above your seat and inside the lavatories. Reach up and pull a mask or streamer down to start the flow of oxygen. Remove any face covering and
I'm
place
not
the
sure
mask over
why I
your
had
nose and
trouble there
mouth. Slip the
on the
elastic strap
initial
over your head and adjust the mask if necessary. Breathe normally and note the oxygen is flowing, so don't worry if the bag doesn't inflate. Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others.
A water evacuation is also unlikely, but just in case. Life vests are in a compartment beneath or adjacent to your seat. To use, remove the vest from its container by pulling on the tab
Okay.
and then opening the pouch.
We are.
Slip the vest over your head.
Engines are
Wrap the strap around your waist, attach it
packed
to the
solid.
buckle in front, and adjust securely around your waist. As you leave the plane, inflate the vest by pulling down on the red tab at the bottom,
or manually inflate it by blowing into the tube at shoulder level. A water-activated light is attached to each vest. For children under 35 pounds, place the vest around their waist and secure the strap between the legs. See your safety card for more information. Additional life vests for in-lab children are in marked compartments at the front and rear of the plane. We'll distribute these vests if necessary.
Before takeoff, bring your seat to its upright position and stow your tray table, footrest, and leg rest. Be sure you fastened your seatbelt low and tight across your lap. Carry-on items secured, and armrests are at resting position.
APU
or as
is
otherwise indicated
off.
on the placard in front of you. If you have a suite door, ensure it's open. See placard instructions inside the suite door for opening instructions in case of emergency. Finally, take a moment to review the safety information card in your seat pocket.
As we finish our safety check, please let us know if you have any questions.
As we take off into the future, sit back and relax. And from all of our crew, thank you for flying with Delta, today and for the next 100 years.
Ryan, I can get our taxi clearance.
I'll get our taxi clearance.
Atlanta ground, Delta 9763. Heavy ready to taxi, holding information Bravo.
Delta 9763, heavy taxi to runway 8 left via 4 southeast, 4 northeast, Foxtrot, Foxtrot 2 hotel, cross runway 8 right at your discretion.
Runway 8 left, 4 southeast, 4 northeast, Foxtrot, Foxtrot 2 hotel, cross runway 8 right at our discretion. Delta 9763, heavy.
Hey, what? Okay. We are World Traffic's with us on this flight, and along with our say intentions, but World Traffic, if you see the additional traffic up there, kind of the activity, that's where it's coming from. In fact, there goes one now. Please He's taxiing a little fast. We're following a winding road to get around to our runway, which is 8 left. Yeah, that's our road there. This is a neat airport. This is Nimbus custom airport. They did a bang up job on it, on everything on it. It's so nice. Follow the little green road. Follow the little green road. So we never had to go near runway 8 right. So we literally avoided it. And it looks like somebody just came in there. In fact, you see one there is getting ready to take off. Now that is neat. Good job. Brian, we're holding short at runway 8 left for takeoff. I'm going to go through our final checklist. We're going to make sure our flaps are set and our RTO is active. RTO.
Sounds good, Steve. Let me know when you're ready for me to call tower for takeoff clearance.
I'm ready for you to call tower.
Calling tower now for takeoff clearance.
TCAS active.
Atlanta Tower, Delta 9763, heavy, holding short of runway 8 left, ready to depart.
Delta 9763, heavy Atlanta Tower, runway 8 left, winds 170 at 3. RNAV Ronnie, cleared for takeoff.
Looks like somebody's coming in.
RNAV Ronnie, cleared for takeoff, Delta 9763, heavy.
I think there's another plane. Maybe it may be coming on 8 right. So while we're taking off, there's one coming in on 8 right. Alright. Alright, forward pressure. Knots. rotating. Positive rate, and our gear is going up. We climbed above 1,000 feet in climbing, so autopilot is engaged. Flaps have been retracted.
Delta 9763, heavy contact departure on 124.6.
He's fussing at me because I didn't let him do his safety.
Heavy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we request your full attention as the flight attendant
Now he's happy.
demonstrate the safety of
Atlanta departure Delta 9763, heavy.
9763 heavy Atlanta departure radar contact. Climb and maintain 10,000 direct fill.
To release your seatbelt.
Climb and maintain 10,000 direct fill, Delta 9763 heavy.
Seatbelt fastened throughout the flight, as we may experience during
Okay, he's let us bypass a couple of our waypoints. We're going to go direct fill.
In some cases, your nearest exit may be behind you. If we need to evacuate the aircraft, four-level lighting will guide you towards the exit. Doors can be opened by moving the handle in the direction of the air. Each door is equipped with an inflatable slide, which may also be attached and used
Ladies
as
and
a
gentlemen, as we climb to our cruising altitude,
heavy. Climb and maintain flight level 210.
thank you to each of you. And
Flight
welcome back
level
to our sky
210,
members and
Delta
media pilots.
9763 heavy.
Your business and loyalty are greatly appreciated by the entire Delta family. For your safety, it's important to remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened anytime the seatbelt sign is on. Even if the sign is off, please keep your seatbelt fastened in case we experience any unexpected rough air. We ask that you also please remember to use caution if opening the overhead bins to prevent injury from articles that may have shifted during takeoff. Now reach an altitude where it's safe to use approved electronic devices. And a listing of these devices can be found in Sky Magazine in the seat pocket in front of you. On today's flight in the
I don't know if I'd call it safe quite yet, but alright.
Available beverages, as well as refreshing items can be found in the menus in your seat pocket. Please be reminded that Delta accepts only major credit or debit cards for onboard purchases of beverages and snacks. However, you can use your Delta SkyMiles American Express card, save 20% and earn double miles on all Delta purchases.
Landing lights are up.
For your enjoyment, each seat is equipped with your own personal entertainment system, awning,
And seat belts are set to auto.
You'll find that the screen will work best with just the light tap of your fingertip. Feel free to use your own headset. Otherwise, if you do need a headset, just let a flight attendant know they are yours complimentary for this and any future Delta flights.
And if you're curious where we are right now, so I'll give you a view. We're way back here. Got a little bit to travel. That's us. So we were given the okay to go direct fill and continue on our path on the fill 3. So it's taking us there, and then we'll continue to climb. We'll climb into so far 210.
Delta 9763 heavy.
And if I would have been paying attention, I would have know what our flight level should be. We were given clearance to go to 280. Okay. lights looking at it bright. It's kind of bright. I can need to dim those a little bit for them. Cabin lights are down a little bit. That's better. Cabin lights on 767 right here. So cabin. Let's check on our lights on the panel here. Let's bring that light up. There's some light there. Floods there. Got a light those up. And for our co-pilot, same deal. Oh, my fault.
Delta 9763 Heavy, climb and maintain flight level 340. Climb and maintain flight level 340, Delta 9763.
He's getting us step by step. If you'll notice, you can kind of watch his pattern of so right now we're on fill. We're almost to fill. Actually, he's actually going a little bit faster. He's climbing us a little bit faster. But by the time we get to Molson, like Lager and Molson, we should be hitting these points 290, 355. That it's pretty accurate on how it climbs. Some numbers that we can go ahead and put in, if they hold true, will be our arrival, if we can have any certainty about coming in on runway 13 left, but I'll hold off on that because we got a ways. In fact, we got 630 miles to go. I'm always careful. Got to be careful around chart, because if you hit charts, you're going to be knocked out of your flight. So we're going to checklist before start. That's right. Back. I did something on a previous flight with FedEx
9763 Heavy, climb and maintain flight level 370.
where I was using auto perform, and I knocked something out on our engines on that flight, and never recovered. It was bad. It was really bad. After takeoff, packs are on auto, landing gear is up, flaps are up, altimeters are set. So we're good.
Delta 9763 Heavy, contact Atlanta Center on 134.2. Contacting Atlanta Center on 134.2. Delta 9763 Heavy.
Step back a little bit. Yeah. I do like this dash. It's
Atlanta Center, Delta 9763 Heavy, evening, climbing through flight level 250 for flight level 370.
Delta 9763 Heavy, Atlanta Center, good evening.
I do admit 767 dash does not have the same modern look as the Airbus, but it's functional, very functional. But the almost analog dials for altitude, just kind of tickle me. Billy, what is our speed in miles per hour right now? For it?
Our ground speed is currently 490 knots, which is approximately 563 miles per hour.
Wow.
Keep up the great work.
Wow. Yeah, that's good. Cut through at 0.84 Mach 0.84. I'll take it. Millie, what's our estimated time of arrival into JFK?
Our estimated time of arrival into JFK is about 73 minutes, based on our current distance and speed.
Wow. Good deal. Okay. No messages, no bad messages. Nothing to call. we're just to recap, we're currently climbing. We are at 30. Wow. Man, this thing climbs fast. So we're already at 370. We're at our cruise altitude. So we're going to go ahead and drop the seatbelt sign. Let there be announcement about that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign, and you may now move about the cabin. However, we always recommend to keep your seatbelt fastened on your seat. You may now turn on electronic devices, such as smartphones, CD players, and laptop computers.
And there should be an announcement coming up by the Delta flight attendant, steward. So we're at steady 370. We're flying cruise altitude 370 at about 560 miles per hour. And we should be in New York City in about 60 minutes. We're at roughly 60 minutes. Give you a shot of our course. So there's our entire course that we're heading right now. So we're at coming up on Hartwell, but we've got quite a distance to go. I am kind of hoping they give us runway 13 left, and if they do, I'm going to hit our route to final. That would be nice, because we come straight in from Cameron to Telex and make our transition and come in on runway 13 left. And I've not put in my initial, I may as well go ahead and do it. I was holding off on doing it because I was thinking I would wait till I talked to ATC, but it won't hurt. So let's go ahead. It says here that based on 30 flaps, that's 137 miles per hour, 137 knots, and our ILS will be 111.50. So we're going to go ahead and put in 111.50 and at a course heading of 134. So let's put that in. So there it is, set 134. So we'll be ready if and when everything goes as planned, and we get the runway 13 left. If it's the arrival runway. Delta 97 63. It may be a little early, but we were looking to see if we can expect runway 13 left on our arrival. Okay. Alright. Nobody wants to talk to me. Brian, are we okay? We good?
We're good, Steve. Everything is running smoothly.
I'm going to pull up our okay, always careful, checklist, descent. So our landing pressure, I need to check, recall, auto brakes are set. VREF is set. Approach briefing complete. We're good. What I said about landing, we need to check our elevation, and I can check that here. Our elevation at our arrival airport is 13 feet. So where that goes, by the way, is right here. So 13 feet. So we'll leave it. We can't quite get that precise. So we're going to leave it on 10. So 10 feet. Okay. And distance to JFK is about 507 nautical miles. That puts us at an arrival of about 45 minutes. So when will we be there? In a New York minute. Ooh. Everything can change in a New York minute. Millie, for me and my current navigation, do I need to do anything that has to do with the VOR, my VOR settings I see on each side of the cockpit?
For your current navigation, if you're using RNAV, you may not need to rely heavily on the VOR. However, if you want to cross-check your position, set the VOR frequency for the nearest station and ensure the course is aligned with your intended route. This can provide an additional layer of situational awareness. Keep it simple and effective.
Delta 9763 Heavy, contact Atlanta Center on 133.15.
Contacting Atlanta Center on 133.15. Delta 9763 Heavy. Atlanta Center Delta 9763 Heavy evening, maintaining flight level 370.
Delta 9763 Heavy, Atlanta Center. Good evening.
Delta 9763 Atlanta Center. Can we expect runway 13 left on our arrival? Is it the active runway? Delta 9763, what are the active runways for KJFK?
Delta 9763 Heavy, active runways at KJFK are 13 right, 22 right, 13 left, and 22 left.
Copy, Delta 9763. So, I am going to be setting my altitude, which is we're not about to start ascending, but to match our arrival. So I'm going to put it for the telex at 2100, but it will descend based on what's in my flight plan and follow all the restrictions. So that's why I'm going to trust BNAV to properly descend us when time comes in between that and ATC. And I may have to come back up and change this, but I feel comfortable going in and setting it there. This is the part of the flight where there's just not a whole lot going on. We've done our checklist. We're monitoring, doing a lot of monitoring. Ready to react if we need to, but we're going to be at 370 for quite a while. I'm just looking now at the waypoints, and they're staying at 370. 60. Yeah, it's going to continue. We're going to continue for probably more than 300 miles at this altitude. Seems like it's taking forever.
9763 Heavy. Contact Washington Center on 118.925.
Switching to Washington Center on 118.925. Delta 9763 Heavy.
We just crossed over that the line from Atlanta Center to Washington Center.
Washington Center, Delta 9763 Heavy evening, maintaining flight level 370.
Delta 9763 Heavy, Washington Center, good evening.
Any latest greatest news on Iran? Let's see. This is big.
Jennifer Griffin is live at the Pentagon.
looks like we did actually bomb the nuclear sites.
As we get ready, remember they are, let's say, 7 hours ahead, and this would have been the window to pull this off. The president again saying that it was very successful on 3 different sites. We should point out that the Israelis have worked really, as we've been reporting over the last week plus, very hard to take out the air defenses of Iran already in a first wave of runs back in October. The Israeli military and Air Force took out a lot of those surface-to-air missiles. Now, with this latest bombing, they have essentially eliminated, and to talk to Israeli officials, they said they had control of these
Israeli Air Force has just been unbelievable in terms of their success since June 12th. They have been carrying out non-stop runs and strikes against Iranian targets, including the first night, 14 Iranian nuclear scientists were taken off the battlefield, as well as about 50 top generals in the Iranian military, including the head
What?
of their Air Force, their ballistic
Yeah.
missiles, their
So we. two things you never talk about in the cockpit: religion and politics. No, really. I think it's a policy with a lot of airlines. Delta 9763, I understand we're going to be coming in on the Cameron 5 arrival. Are we expecting runway 13 left?
Delta 9763, heavy affirmative, expect runway 13 left to KJFK.
Runway 13 left, JFK. Delta 9763.
Delta 9763, heavy, runway 13 left, confirmed for JFK.
Copy. Runway 13 left, JFK. Delta 9763. Alright, we're set up for it. Millie, am I mistaken, or have I been in the 767-300 and VNAV has started my descent for me without me having to initiate it?
You're correct. In VNAV mode, the aircraft can automatically initiate descent based on your programmed flight path and altitude constraints. It's a great feature for managing descents efficiently. Just ensure you're monitoring the vertical speed and altitude to stay within your planned profile.
The reason I'm asking her that is I really have not allowed it without, I mean inadvertently, but I usually descend a little bit early, but we're actually going to let it go tonight. See what happens.
Heavy, contact Washington Center on 123.85.
Contact Washington Center on 123.85, Delta 9763. Heavy. Washington Center, Delta 9763. Heavy evening. Maintaining flight level 370.
Delta 9763, Heavy, Washington Center, good evening.
Headache bug.
Delta 9763. Heavy, Washington Center. Expect the camera in 5 arrival. Expect to descend in about 20 minutes. Feel free to ask if you'd like it sooner.
Expecting the camera in 5 arrival, Delta 9763. Heavy.
No, we don't need him. Alright, we got 34 nautical miles to Sod. At 370. Buy-sell has 370 for 51 nautical miles. Act up, looks like it begins to take us down, step us down gradually. So we're going to see if it takes us down. We are 233 miles out of JFK. We're currently at 370, and we're not too far from our descent. We're about possibilities about 72 miles from descent. Alright, we're on buy-sell. We're on the waypoint to buy-sell. We're currently Mach 0.832, and we're at 370, preparing to descend to 330 on the next waypoint. Delta 9763, we're requesting clearance to begin our descent on the Cameron 5 arrival.
Delta 9763, heavy clear Cameron 5 arrival into Kennedy. When you're ready, descend and maintain flight level 250.
Clear Cameron 5 arrival into Kennedy. Descend and maintain flight level 250 when ready. Delta 9763, heavy.
Alright, Brian, we got our clearance. We're going to begin that descent in about 42 nautical miles, 39 nautical miles.
Copy that, Steve. I'll let them know we're starting our descent to flight level 250.
Washington Center, Delta 9763, heavy, starting our descent to flight level 250.
Delta 9763, heavy, descend and maintain flight level 250.
Descend and maintain flight level 250, Delta 9763, heavy.
Waiting for it to start. Hasn't started yet. Alright, all I hit is descent now in the descent section, but it did not just do it by itself. It just needed a little nod. Alright, seatbelt signs on, and we're starting our descent.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have begun our initial descent. At this time, we ask that you kindly begin to recheck the security of your seatbelt. And if you've removed any items from the overhead bins, please begin to restow them at this time. Please check around your seating area and the seat pocket in front of you for any cups, glasses, or other articles you wish to discard. Kindly hand these items to the flight attendants as they make their way through the aisle. Thank you so much. We should be landing in approximately 15 to 20 minutes.
Oh, the pressure. 15 to 20 minutes. It ain't happening.
Delta 9763, heavy descend and maintain 14,000.
Descend and maintain 14,000, Delta 9763, heavy.
I got it. We're still not changing. I mean, I'm set for. I've got our altitude set to 2100, but it's stepping it down, so we'll follow it to the letter. Looks like we should hit all the marks based on our current descent and the VNAV managing it. And we have some wiggle room here also, I see, so on our descent. So you might need some help from me on the rate of descent. We're up to 310. I think we've got a 305, 305. Yeah, we need some help. Yeah, you get carried away. There we go. Coming back. Alright, we're at 305 knots. And descending at a kind of an expedient rate at the moment. We are behind, by the way, on our descent. We'll see if we can kind of bring it back.
Delta 9763, heavy, contact Washington Center on 127.7.
Contacting Washington Center on 127.7. Delta 9763, heavy.
Delta 9763 heavy, advise altimeter.
Washington Center, Delta 9763, heavy, evening descending through 16,000 feet for 14,000.
Delta 9763, heavy Washington Center, good evening, Kennedy altimeter 30.13.
Alright, landing lights are on. Got it. Drag required. Got it. Right, we've had to give some speed brake to keep our speed down. Now we're on flaps 1, and that should help us to maintain our speed, not go over speed. So we're at 240. We'll be at 240 for about 26 miles. VNav's following the restrictions to the letter, or the we are in line with our descent now. I notice that we're at 9,300. And we're starting to line up with pans, and then cars is 8,500, and steps it down about 1,000 feet each time. Then from Telex to Cajun's the biggest change. actually the camera that telex is. So far, I managed descent. So about where it should be. Yeah, right at it. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah. It couldn't ask for more than that. I'm at 8,300. We're on Cameron, which will go down to 7,800. And from there, we'll have about a 42 nautical mile stretch to get down to 2,100. So, we're good. It's our 42-mile stretch here. We're at flaps 1 now, on a descent from 7,000 and dropping. Once we get to 2100, that's our at or above. We will not be able to descend lower until we get to past telex. I haven't hammered the speed yet because I think he's still trying to get down. Right, we're dropping below 5,000 and 27 nautical miles to telex. Right on track. Out of the distance I can see JFK already, so close. coming in on that runway. That's probably 3-5 or close, something like that. We are coming on runway 13 left, which our runway's over here, out this way. Alright, we should see a reduction in our speed to 170. Yeah. Come on. approach. All right. Not sure just what happened there. I have everything set the way it should be.
100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
Please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened until the captain has parked the aircraft at the gate and turned off the seatbelt sign. This will be your one and only indication that it's safe for you to get up and move about the cabin. Please be reminded to use caution when opening the overhead bins to prevent injury from articles that may have shifted during landing. You may now use your mobile phones and other handheld electronic devices while we taxi to the gate. However, your laptop computers and larger electronics must remain stowed. We invite you to visit Delta.com for all your future travel needs, including checking in for a flight and managing your SkyMiles account. If any of you should have questions regarding ground transportation, baggage claim, or any other information, a uniformed Delta agent meeting this flight will be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. On behalf of Delta Sky Team, our global partners, and flight crew, we'd like to thank you all for flying with us. We've enjoyed having you on board and look forward to the opportunity to serve you once again. Thank you so much and have a wonderful evening. Flight attendants, prepare doors for arrival, please. Cross-check and all calls.
should have just went. I watched you. I mean, we're like doing fine, obviously. Like we still have Midwalker. But we need to like actually keep carrying and not stop carrying the radio. That's just the game. Alright, so the bottom line is I could not get I something's going on with ILS and I don't understand it completely. I don't know if it's my direction. That led me to discontinue an ILS approach and hand fly it. And not saying that's the best choice, but see how, watch how it went. So my approach, bio stretches, I thought it would be better to do a go around, but we gotta go down. You're going the wrong way. I don't know if you guys have melee the thing is gonna flash hold you. Yes, I'm aware. I'm down here with you. Oh. Can't control it. Okay. All right. Thanks for hanging out. See you on the next one. I just made all of them like run away in fear. They just scattered. It was kind of, oh, I want to push with this. This sounds like a fun thing to push with. Yeah, let's not over. Yeah. Thanks, Don. I'm sorry for not responding. Timber Grey Wolf too, but yeah, you won't regret it. It'll take a little bit, but Xplane, Xplane 2, or Xplane 12. There is something so different about the physics, the everything about it, and the immersion. And I know that Microsoft Flight Sim is really good. You know, I'm not taking anything away from Microsoft Flight Sim, but there's just something different about flying Xplane, and I think it is the physics, and it's not easy. I crashed my first 3 months when I first started flying their commercial airliners. To get used to and to adapt and to learn some of the nuances of the aircraft. But I still, you see, like with the 767, this was not what I consider to be a great landing. Because I was coming in under an ILS landing, and it still had a couple of things on that approach, but yeah, it really is uh, it really is a whole lot different than say MS Microsoft Flight Sim, some of the other ones, because you do have to do a whole lot more. What were you asking? You were saying, uh, so yeah, what we were playing on tonight was Xplane 12. So this is Xplane 12. I was using a Flight Factor 767-300 ER model. It's been out for a while. The actual model's been out. They have done a bang-up job with the detail of the aircraft. Can't beat it. You really can't beat it. In terms of the graphics, also they continue to improve. Like I said, Microsoft Flight Sim still may look a little better, but more and more, I think Xplane's really coming out and doing a better job. So yeah, this is Xplane 12's latest version. I'm not using any enhancements on this. This is just straight out of the box in terms of the graphics on this one. So this isn't. I'm not doing anything special on this one here. A lot of people use XP Enhance or XP Maps, and it even adds more. But I like what the Xplane's done with it now. It's come a long way. So yeah, tonight, if this is Xplane 12 with flight factor set with a 767 flight factor, and also for my ATC tonight, I was using Say Intentions, and Say Intentions has the best AI. So if you notice, it's interactive AI. It's not scripted, so. Sometimes I forget. Sometimes I forget it's AI, because they really do. They've put a lot into that, so I'm using that. And we used World. I actually was using World Traffic tonight, which gave us some additional traffic, air traffic, and that's a free mod that you can get from the forum, the Xplane forum. And it adds even more. Sometimes it can be a little quirky about taking your parking space when you park, but it's still I think it's worth a load. It's worth using. All right. Don't be a stranger, and I'll see you on the next one.